Today, I want to talk about gaslighting, the definition of which is a form of psychological abuse or manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self doubt and confusion in their victim's mind. Basically, trying to put one over on people, portraying yourself as one thing while showing another. It's very evident in all our politics, in the way our administration is using outright lies. In a way, it's a fancy way of saying lying, but it's a more astute way of describing trying to be hypocrites, basically. The hypocrisy of trying to portray people as one thing when really it's the complete opposite. Or trying to portray people as one thing and they're completely human like we are, but we need to dehumanize them to portray whatever, agenda we're trying to push forward. So the gaslighting nature of the American dream is obvious to anybody who has paid attention the last couple dozen centuries. Even still, many immigrants risk life and limb to make it to a country where most of the population either only wants them if they stay out of sight or doesn't want them at all. Knowing this, why do so many still make the perilous journey? Just like darkness is never all that is, because of slivers of light, the love of the few and welcoming nature of some is still better than where most immigrants came from. No matter how much the media portrays large groups of migrants as a crisis or an invasion, the true story of America, the real nature of this American dream that so many cling to, does still exist. We've always been a country of immigrants. If we truly want to make this country more welcoming, to allow people to work and to allow them shelter so they don't have to sleep on the street, we mustn't feed into false narratives of immigrant crime and instead feed the true narratives of immigrant humanity. Many small countries take in more people than the United States. So when the richest country in the history of the world claims it doesn't have the money or room, gaslighting becomes an eternal flame. Hear a lie long enough and we'll believe it. However, hear truths long enough and we'll believe them, turning us into the gaslighting extinguishers we were always meant to be. If you like what you heard, please remember to like and subscribe this video. Please check out my website, BRYANRADZIN.com. You'll find information about all my books, my social media, my YouTube, and everything that I'm up to these days. This was just a very important topic for me to talk about today because so much going on in the world. Many immigrants are just disappeared into other countries, into gulags, because we are now apparently a country that, shows up, masked people, throws them in unmarked vans, and disappears them to countries and notoriously torturous prisons where they have no due process, no lawyers, no way of communicating out, and they're just there. Each country says they can't be let out. And now that's where we're at. We're no longer in a crisis. That is where we are at. So gaslighting is something that helps keep this lie going, that all these people are criminals, that all they want to do is come here and rape and pillage, when really they are risking their lives, literally risking life and limb to come here just to make a life better for them and for their family. And now not only is it just immigrants, it's people with green cards and U.S. citizens that are saying something that the administration doesn't like or doesn't agree with, because we can now disappear people completely with no due process because they have an opinion we don't like, or anything that they do that we see as quote unquote un-American. We owe it to ourselves, to the people that we've hurt, to not only bring these people home, but we owe it to the American people to be truthful, to not be this country where we can just take people off the street. That's not who we are. I was at the protests this past weekend. Many people were arguing to bring Abrego Garcia home. He is but one example. There were over 200 people that were disappeared to that Venezuelan gulag that's now in El Salvador that they're not even, citizens of. It's insane. It's not only is it insane, but it's cruel. It's violent. I mean, cruelty is the point. So, as we move forward, may we just be honest with each other, honest with ourselves, and honest with our government, and let them know what they cannot do, what they must not do in our name. We can stop this from happening. We can stop the complete degradation and destruction of what America supposedly is and what is supposed to be, that we may not have realized yet, but we are still working there. And I still believe that we will make it. More of us just have to keep standing up on a more constant basis and just keep standing and prove that we're not going anywhere. We need to prove that we will not be gaslit anymore. We will not be lied to anymore. We will not put up with this anymore.